Hey everyone. To give an update, it's been 28 months, no contact or anything with my son. At this point, they obviously have succeeded at trying to break the familial bond between him and I. My termination date is set for August 24th at Center County Courthouse in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania at 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m. I have asked for people to come and rally that day, voice their concerns, say their stories, bring signs, megaphones, say what they have to say. Obviously, this idea has been put in place several times for other court dates, but they have sabotaged those days by changing court dates and other means. It's been a long road, a tough road. I've been dealing with a lot, knowing that this is the last court date and that they will obviously, as corrupt courts do, probably just terminate me, even though they've never had evidence of abuse, even though I've stated on record the only time I was able to talk that they have violated my civil rights, my parental rights. I do understand that it's hard for some people to get there. I did have persons come to one of the court dates, and basically it wasn't too successful. I'm asking for anyone with a way to help or documents to provide or things to state on record to provide them to me. I have given my email in several videos and below videos about what's going on. If you are new to my story, my video about my story has about 7,000 views now and hundreds of comments of people who've gone through the same thing, who are still enduring the same thing about their rights being violated and their children being kidnapped legally. We all are coming to know and understand that this child trafficking, child for profit business is through a corporation, CYS, CPS, DHFS, ACS, all of them they're all corporate. And they're doing this for money. That's why they provide a business card. That's why they get you to try to contract with them, sign things, etc. We've come to understand that these contracts, these safety plans are illegal documents because you're basically going against your rights when it comes to a contract by not being given a chance to be provided or obtain an attorney. You're being forced under coercion and duress to sign these documents, and then they illegally basically enforce these documents after the fact. They use that, and then they pretty much alienate you from your child, so that your children come to hate you. Your children come to not want to be with you. They implant memories into the children that never occurred. And in my case, people are flabbergasted when I say it's been 27, 28 months of no contact. So imagine, the last phone call that I had with my son, he was fine. He wanted to come home. He told me what happened at school. And that was the last time I ever heard from him. That was the last time we had contact. That was the last time we ever spoke until they did this. The foster parents obviously are in on this. I have come to understand through my research how disgusting this rabbit hole goes. Basically, the foster parents of my son work at the same place where I used to work, the foster mother, where this whole story began years ago, where I reported being raped, and I found out that her relative is actually the clerk of court, and worked in the prothonotari's office. And this whole entire time I thought that him being nice to me was him genuinely being a nice person. Meanwhile, it's because he's a direct pipeline to the foster family to say what's going on, what's being filed, what's in the paperwork, because they have the same last name and they're related. It went further in my research to understand the ties between the judge and the foster parents as well, and so on and so forth. And it's just disgusting that literally all of these things are tied together. My fake charges, my false incarceration, fake felonies, the court officers in cahoots with the foster family, and them all living in proximity to each other with the judge, and what's been talked about and how many times people have complained about these certain people involved doing this. And so just, it is a lot of information, but understand that what I've told other parents, which is, this fight is bigger than me and my son. This fight has to do with something greater. This fight has to do with exploitation. This fight has to do with frauding the government. This has to do with federal law not being adhered to. And that's what they bank on. They bank on the fact that you don't know these things. And I've covered that in a different video. But understand that no matter what, your children are your children. You need to fight for them. Even if you exhaust all remedies, even if you feel like there's no other way, you need to continue to fight and speak out and say something, because little by little, the government's been cracking down on this. And yes, in different states, women are starting to sue and win settlements because of illegal removals, but you have to be in the fight all the way. Like, you literally have to do everything you can. And what's crazy is something I read this morning. Someone posted, how can they sit here and remove children from families, right, that are experiencing poverty, but then give the foster parents thousands of dollars to have these children? You know what I mean? And, I'm a single mom. I raised my son alone. I literally provided to my son the best way I could, meaning, we weren't exactly poverty. We lived in a beautiful big house in a beautiful area in the suburbs. And little by little by little, they were priming my son for this. And I didn't realize that until I started digging and digging and digging this whole 27 months to realize that these little things that I didn't see as signs and symbols of them doing this, and probably some ring of pedophiles and other things that, if you want to ask me, you can inbox me, that is just disgusting. It is just disgusting. And little by little, the system of these child trafficking persons, these people who are breaking the law, these people who are violating federal codes, these people who are, violating under color of law, and so forth, like, it will be revealed. And what they do is either shut you up by literally causing an accident, or locking you up, or trumping charges up, or doing anything like that. Like, they try every means. They try gang stalking. They try messing and hacking into your things. I mean, I've seen it all these last 27 months. I've seen it all. Even things that I didn't think were possible that they will do, they will do it. They will find a way, literally. I mean, down to, if you try to file a civil complaint, OCR, if you try to consult with people, they literally will stalk and do anything possible to disrupt you exposing them. So continue to speak out. Hashtag where's Alex Vega, hashtag be loud, do the right thing. Please, if you can, I need some court watchers that day. It is literally the last court date. So even if they try to change it, even if they try to do something again, it's been 27 months. Please be present. Please do something. Please help. This is also for your kids, for my son, for everyone enduring this, for all the people who have lost their children this way, who haven't heard anything, who don't even know where their children are. I went through hell to literally figure out where my son was. But guess what? That's just by words. Like, literally, I had to understand that people said, do you even know if your son is alive or not? Like, there's been no proof or sign of life of him for 27 months. And then a quote unquote phone call, private, to a family member. Like, something's not right here. Something is not right here. Something is not right. And literally, this all happened as well after I started to inquire about why an adult at my son's school gave my son, her address, and then refused to talk to me, refused to meet me, refused to communicate with me. I started questioning things, and then bam, this happened. And so I know I've condensed a lot in this short 10 minutes because I don't want to make it long. So trust me, I'm more organized than this, but I just wanted to cover those things. So thank you for your support. Continue to follow me. Continue to share the video. If you know someone who's in civil rights, if you know someone who deals with family law violations, send them my way. I don't care if it's a conversation. It doesn't even have to be legal advice. Anything happens, Trust me, like, people are aware of my story. People know what's going on, which is why I've said to them, regardless of what you do, understand something. PSAs, public service announcement. If something were to happen to me, I'm not suicidal. I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. I know that it seems silly to put out there, but it needs to be. Why? Because even when they try to claim that I have some kind of mental illness, a doctor did all the evaluations you're supposed to do and said, hey, there's nothing wrong with her. She doesn't have any personality disorder, no thought disorder, nothing. And guess what? Because those doctors, my own personal ones, not ones they recommended that I went to, showed that they were full of shit. Guess what? They never submitted those evaluations to the court. They never told the court that they were done, even though I provided it to the representative, the public offender, as you want to say, or a court-appointed offender. They never did anything. They never submitted it. And so, I guess that's all I'll cover for now. It's getting pretty close. You don't understand, like, how nervous I am and how hard this is, because once they do that, they change your kid's name, they change the birth certificate, and then it's like, how can you ever find them again? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's happening to my son. Like, I feel that he's being sexually abused, and it has been turned into the brainwashing of thinking it's normal. I feel that my son is being ritually abused emotionally, and some other things. And so we can get into that at a different time, but please pray. Please try to come. Please, I need people to rally. This is the time right now for us to fight about this, because all these other movements are going on and we can do the same. Child lives matter. I put that on my Facebook. You know what I mean? So, thank you so much. I will continue to speak to representatives. I will continue to do the right thing. If you can, make phone calls to Center County congressmen and senators and whoever about it, about Alex Vega, about releasing him. Thank you guys. I'll be back another time. I'll give you an update if anything changes beforehand. And if not, just understand that I did nothing. And they've never had evidence. In this case, in the criminal cases, nothing. And I know for a fact that if they terminate me on the 24th, they are going to also fake charges of criminal acts by saying you committed abuse since you were terminated, and then try to loop me back into jail and not let me live my life and do the right thing by my son again. This is retaliation from me reporting abuse. This is retaliation from me recording officers abusing the law. This is retaliation for many things. And I've left those sprinkles here and there. So if anybody really digs deep, if anything goes silent, then you will understand what I mean. So, thank you. I'll be back sometime soon. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Please take care of yourself, and please make sure to keep yourself away from germs and that sort of thing as best you can. I know you can't extricate yourself from it completely, but try your best. Thank you. And please help me with my son. Please. I'm asking, please. Please.